all know what happiness is, right? The colour yellow, the feeling when you smile, sunshine after a few days of rain. But if I was to ask each and every one of you specifically what you think of happiness, I know that I get a really diverse array of different and nuanced responses. Now I want you to think of the young people in your life. How would you describe happiness to them? How would they describe it to you? Happiness is one word that describes an incredibly diverse array of emotions and experiences, yet we are collectively obsessed about how we pursue, find and hold on to it. But we are facing a youth mental health crisis here in Aotearoa New Zealand, so I wanted to know if this was the case for our young people too, and that if we can understand how they value happiness in their daily lives, then maybe we'd be better placed to support them as they navigate their young adulthood. We know that happiness is linked with our mental health and well-being. The happier we are, the less likely we are to report issues with depression and anxiety. We also know that happiness is incredibly sensitive to the environments around us. So I wanted to know how young people are experiencing happiness and how they're conceptualising it. I interviewed 32 young people from across the country, and here's what they had to say. Many young people spoke about how happiness is actually the experience of when there's nothing to be stressed, worried or anxious about. They said they often felt happy until they thought about something like school or exams or assessments coming up. Others told me about how happiness is actually incredibly difficult to define and sometimes complex to experience. They spoke about it as joy, excitement, peace and contentment. Another major concept that I found was that young people felt that their happiness, or lack of it, is actually contagious. They said they often felt pressure to appear happy in front of others in order to make those people happy too. They also felt that they couldn't feel upset or sad in front of others because that would make them upset or sad as well. These findings support the notion that happiness is perhaps far more complex than we're actually giving it credit for. And it suggests that perhaps the way that we talk about it as a collective is mismatched to how our young people are experiencing it in their day-to-day lives. If we continue to speak about happiness as a simple concept or a one-size-fits-all approach to a happy life, then it would be in complete contradiction to what our young people are telling us. I believe if we continue to dig deeper on what happiness is for young people, we will see that although as a collective we may think of the colour yellow and sunshiny days, that happiness is actually complex, and if we can harness and celebrate the diversity of this experience, we could be better placed to support young people when they need it the most.